Hi, just letting you know that today's video is a really great collab with a bunch of other awesome Jewish mamas on YouTube, and I would love if you go into the description box and if you follow the links to their videos and check them out. We've all got really great Rosh Hashanah content and it's going to be fantastic. Thanks for watching.
Hi guys, it's Talia here from The Climbing Tree. I have a bit of an experiment video for you today where I'm just going to talk through how I'm preparing for Rosh Hashanah and like my menu and stuff like this. So I've got like my notes and my little like chart at the top. Rosh Hashanah is my favorite of the Jewish holidays, closely followed by Sukkot, I would say. So, you know, like I really love this time of year. So this year, Rosh Hashanah starts on Sunday night and goes for 2 days. And so these are like, you have Shabbat and then you sort of have your gap of Saturday night and Sunday, and then you start again with 2 Yomim Tovim. So there is busyness to do, and I like to be prepared and organized for this sort of stuff because I love holidays and I love events. Generally, we don't really host a lot of people and we don't really go anywhere for these holidays. So all of these things that I'm like preparing for are based on just for our family of 5. Possibly on the first or second night of Rosh Hashanah, I'm not really sure actually. We might like invite some family to come and have with us, but maybe we just have like a couple of extra adults. So it doesn't really change my menu at all, just the quantities that I would be buying. So basically, because of this timing, having Shabbat, having your spare day, then getting into a Yom Tov, this is super helpful because when you have the 3 days all in a row, that's when things start to get crazy. But the reality is that after Shabbat, our house is messy, even though the cleaner comes on Fridays and it is all very, very beautiful and clean for Shabbat. Because we're not so cleaning during the day on Shabbat, everything gets a bit messy and we're really home, or at least some of us are home the whole day. So I recognize that really on the Saturday night and the Sunday, I need to be doing a little bit of cleaning. So definitely I will be getting the kids on board to do that cleaning. It shouldn't be big things, you know, the floor will already be vacuumed and mopped. It'll just be sort of a sweeping up job, a putting things away kind of cleaning up session that we'll have to do. Also, this is when I want to like decorate the table on this Sunday day, and then also want to be preparing all my hot food for the first night. So if we're talking about some of the rules of a Yom Tov, we can prepare food on a Yom Tov, but unlike on Shabbat when you can't prepare any food, but like there's still limitations in how you're going to like be doing stuff or what you could actually do. So you definitely, it certainly suits me better to just really have everything already prepared, so that this is a process of like maybe chopping up some vegetables, maybe roasting a couple of things in the oven that you want to be hot, you know. But also because we can't prepare things for the next day, when we get to the second night of Rosh Hashanah, we need to have something that is basically pre-made and just heating it up, because we can't start cooking for that day until sundown. And by this stage, at where we live, we're talking about it's going to like 6:30 before we can start to cook. It's not too bad because I'm pretty sure that's when services will be for the second night. So Luke will go off and do that. But in reality, our kids go to bed at 6:30, you know, so like these will be late nights for them, but I want it to be as not late as possible. So I want to have things ready. So basically this week beforehand, please God, I'm posting this for you like sort of the week before, We will actually be in Sydney the weekend before Rosh Hashanah. Then we'll get back on the Sunday, and we will have the week, like Monday to Friday, to get all of this stuff ready and get Shabbat stuff ready and just really focus heads down on Rosh Hashanah. So I'm going to be doing all my food prep in the week beforehand and just freezing things and refrigerating things. My mum came over last week and she cleaned out my fridge for me, which was amazing because I'm also like 34 weeks pregnant. So, you know, I'm tired and I don't really want to make a huge big thing of things, but I also want to celebrate the holidays, you know. It's a bit of a struggle, but priorities. So also we've got plenty of room in the freezer downstairs, so that's all good. Let me go through really quickly what I'm planning is on my menu because it's going to be delicious. Okay, so for the first night of Rosh Hashanah, so this night I can have actually like been making things in the afternoon in the lead up to the night. We're going to have our Seder plate. If you have never done a Rosh Hashanah Seder plate before, definitely do that. It is so like beautiful and symbolic, the same way that our Passover Seder plates are beautiful and symbolic and, you know, tasting things. It's great for the kids. And then also you can like make up your own like food puns, which is a bit of fun, and I have a few prepared that we will get, you know, going on. So we're going to have that, and that is stuff we're going to eat. So that's part of our meal. Plus challah, I've got some round challah that I think I've actually like been eating them because they're delicious, but I'll have to make some more during the week. Some round challah. We're going to do a matzah ball soup. This is like a meat night, so we're going to do proper chicken soup with like, you know, making the broth out of chicken wings and stuff like this, and do matzah balls because the kids love those, so that's yummy. Then I'm going to do some salmon skewers, and I'm thinking I might go for like a bit of a miso sort of glaze on this. I see this a lot. I don't really know if I can actually get kosher miso where I live, but I do live near a big Asian population, and so I find that when I go to like the legit Asian stores, because they have so many more brands of things, I can more easily find a kosher option for the things I'm making. This is how I found my kosher nori and stuff like this for sushi. So yeah, I'm hoping I can find something. If I cannot find that, then I'll just go for like more classic kind of Western flavors on my salmon skewers, and might do like rosemary and garlic. That would be nice. Maybe some honey as well to sweeten up because it is Rosh Hashanah. Then we're going to do a pomegranate brisket. This is like one of my favorite things to make. Assuming that I don't run out of brisket in the grocery store, in which case I'll do some other kind of red meat like this, and I'm basically making like a pomegranate glaze with like brown sugar and pomegranate juice, and baking that, you know, together so it gets really delicious and lush and really nice. Also, if you can have marinated that and let it sit in the pomegranate juice and the sugar for a little while, like overnight, and then cook it, because it gets really into it and it's just delicious. And then you can cook down the sauce. I just cut up actually usually like some apples and onions, and if you really want to, you could also put carrot and celery into the base underneath your meat, and then you can sort of like whiz up all of that stuff that's left in your pan after you take your meat out, and that makes a really delicious sauce to go with it. Also, we'll have salad. I didn't really like write down the salad so much, but you know, we'll probably have like an Israeli salad and maybe like a Moroccan carrot salad, which is just like grated carrot and like some nuts and stuff. Okay, I got cut off. I think I was just saying the carrot salad, which is just like grated carrot, some nuts. Pine nuts are really nice but expensive, so like just chopped up almonds that are roasted, and some sultanas or currants or something like this, and making a dressing that's just like lemon juice, olive oil cumin, yeah, salt and pepper. It's delicious. Okay, so that's for the first night of Rosh Hashanah. For dessert, we're going to do like a dairy-free apple layer cake, which I think will be really yummy. For Rosh Hashanah, first day lunch. So breakfast, I don't do anything super special for breakfast. You know, like we're just going to have cereal. You know, that's life. But for lunch, we're going to have challah. We're going to have probably a dairy challah because I've got choc chips and I don't know. It's just easier for me to source dairy choc chips than it is to find non-dairy choc chips. So I think, and that's really fun. And we're going to have some dips, probably like hummus, beet hummus. I mean, I have nice ideals of like making all these dips, but it's definitely possible that I will be too tired and run out of time, and that I'll just buy a bunch of dips, kosher dips. You know, we like the Yumi's brand. Then, oh, I've rearranged these things. Oh, okay. Then we're going to have zucchini soup, and you know, I just have like, it's very, very simple. It can easily be dairy free if you just use like, yeah, it can be dairy free, it can be meat free, which is what I actually meant. So like you're basically just chopping up a bunch of zucchini, maybe some onion, and a whole bunch of basil as well. It's really nice. Putting it into your pot and then just use like a fake meat kind of stock or veggie stock, and putting that in to cook it all down, and then blitzing it up, and we've got a really, really delicious soup. Salt and pepper, of course. Oh, I know why I did that, because yeah. Anyway, so that is what I'm thinking for like the main lunch meal, but also because I don't want something like really heavy for that. For lunch, we don't tend to eat like really big lunches, but this is a nice way of having like a hot meal. You know, that's not too whatever heavy and big and meaty. Then for dessert, for lunch, so this is one of the things that we love about Rosh Hashanah and any holidays, is that we're having dessert like every meal. It's crazy. We're going to do baked apples with custard, so that should be really delicious. And actually, baked apples are very easy to have like pre-prepared, have in the freezer, just put them in the oven to heat through, and that's a nice thing. And you can just make your custard fresh, or you could have it already put into the fridge, sorry, but you will have had to make it. You don't want to leave it in the fridge too many days, so I think it would be easier to make it fresh. So then we get to night 2, and this is, I think, so basically, because as I said before, with the like laws of a Yom Tov, we cannot start cooking and like preparing the food for the second night of Rosh Hashanah until it is actually sundown. Of course, if you've pre-prepared food like way before the first day of the Yom Tov, that's fine. I'm talking about like, I can't start cooking dinner at 4 o'clock when it's still the first day of Rosh Hashanah. I have to prepare and heat up this food we're going to eat for the second night of Rosh Hashanah. I have to wait until sundown. So we're going to have challah and dips. Again, very nice, yummy, whatever. Maybe like we could have pesto type thing is another idea. A sweet potato and cashew kind of dip would be really nice. If you're going to do dairy dips, you can definitely do like any sort of like cream cheese or sour cream kind of based dip, and just put like veggies in it and blitz it together, and it tastes good. Actually, a really nice kind of, it's not really a dip, but like a cheese ball kind of thing, is like cream cheese with like chopped up herbs like chives and parsley, maybe some basil, maybe some coriander, something like this, and some minced garlic and some olives, and you mix that all together. That is really, really nice, particularly if you put like a tiny swirl of honey in it and a very small part of preserved lemon. Really, really good. Anyway, back to second night of Rosh Hashanah. I don't know exactly what dips and stuff we're going to do yet. I'll let you know. But the meal we're going to have for this second night is roast veg with couscous. I just prefer the red. Again, it happened. Sorry about that. Also, I have kids yelling at me even though I've told them I'm not available. So if you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry. Back to the second night of Rosh Hashanah and the main meal. So we're going to have the challah and dips. Haven't decided on the dips yet. I will just flying by the seat of my pants with that one. Then we're going to have roast veg. So again, roast veg is a really great thing because you can have already roasted off your veg and have them in the fridge or the freezer and heat them through. But also they don't necessarily take a very long time to roast. So if you have room in your oven, you can roast them off easily. We're going to have couscous. I prefer the like regular kind of couscous, like the finer couscous as opposed to the Israeli couscous. But I'll probably will end up just seeing what the kids want me to make, and that's the type that I'll make. And then we're going to have salmon with it, so we'll just do like salmon pieces, possibly a similar style to the salmon skewers from the previous night. Yeah, but this will be like, the salmon will be our main meat that we're doing. So this is more like a vegetarian, this is not more like, it is a vegetarian night with fish that we're going to do for the second night, and our first night was meat. And then we're going to do a dairy apple tartan. Well, anyway, you know what I mean. You know, with like a pastry and apples and it's caramelly and you flip it over. Delicious. I cannot get like kosher puff pastry where I am, so I'm going to have to like make like a rough puff. I don't think it should be a big problem because I'm fairly competent in baking and whatever, but this is again something that I will probably be pre-making, freezing, then I can heat it up because of this technicality with having to make the pastry. So yeah, that's how we're going for the second night of Rosh Hashanah. And then for lunch on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, we are going to do challah, of course. We're going to do hummus bowls with mince, like a spiced mince. So this again is really great because you can spice and cook your mince meat, beef, and have that sitting there in the fridge ready, and you just want to like heat it through to top the hummus bowls. Everyone loves that. It's great with your challah, dipping in your challah. Really, really yummy. And I just spice it with a whole bunch of things like sumac is great, cumin is great, ground coriander is really great. You definitely want some sort of like beef stock powder or chicken stock powder is totally fine in there, maybe not in the meat, whatever, just, you know, or a veggie stock powder, it doesn't matter, just something gives it a bit of flavor. Also, you put a bit of water in there with it once your meat is browned with all your spices and stuff, and you've put your bit of veggie stock in, or meat or beef stock, whatever, and then you pour a bit of water in and you kind of make like a bit of a gravy kind of situation in there, really yummy spiced gravy. So then it's really delicious when you're putting it on top of the hummus bowl, and it just can spread through a little bit. We'll also have like a side salad with that. It's nice, beautiful, looks beautiful with like some pomegranates topped on the top. And then for the dessert, we're just going to do like a fruit salad. So this I'm saving up. There's a few new fruits that I want to try that I've seen like in the fruit and veg store. So it'll be a really yummy fruit salad with hopefully a couple of new fruits that we will have just tried, you know, on the first night of Rosh Hashanah and on the second night of Rosh Hashanah, and then also a bunch of fruits that are just coming into season, like mangoes and watermelons, and I'm really keen to like have some of those as a treat, even though they're still quite expensive and I won't be buying them regularly until it's like proper summer. Yeah, so that is our like menu plan and how I'm preparing. The one of the snacks that I really like having like prepared and out is like honey joys, which if you're Australian you will definitely know what honey joys are, and I don't know if people know about them in other places really, but it's basically like cornflakes and honey and sugar and butter, and you make it and they're like little delicious things. Please God, I might even make a video about it, but who knows. Yeah, so that's really delicious, and just having all those dips and stuff in the fridge and then saving the leftover challah and not bagging it up and freezing it or throwing it out, then gives you something, you know, like a snacky thing that if the kids are hungry, which, you know, it's a pretty full menu. I don't think anyone's going to be hungry not at the mealtime. So that's how we're preparing. A lot of these things that I've said you can like prepare earlier, like the roast veggies, the apple cake, what else, like the mince for the hummus bowls. I just buy the hummus. I know it's really easy to make, but I need to be kind to myself at this sort of stage of pregnancy and level of, you know, yum intervening. So I'm going to just buy the hummus, but yeah, totally you could make it yourself earlier. Even the zucchini soup, very easy thing to have like made beforehand and have in the freezer, and we will be prioritizing that. I like to get it done as soon as possible. So like really on Monday, I want to make as much as I possibly can. It's the start of school holidays for us as well. And so I will have kids with me and we'll be busy, and we'll possibly like go and visit, what am I saying? Like go and like visit my parents maybe in that first week. I have an ultrasound appointment, you know, like there's busy stuff happening, so I just need to like crack through this, and this is my main priority. I hope that this is a helpful video for you. Let me know, and if you have other things that you're putting on your menu for Rosh Hashanah, I would love to hear what they are, because I love collecting all these ideas. So thanks for watching, subscribe, like, etc., etc. Yeah, see ya.